Today is my 34th birthday. Happy birthday to me. Your girl is a Sagittarius. So today is December 20th, the day of my birth. There are just a few things that I want to talk about now that I am a whole year older, 34. I've been in my 30s for a couple of years now. I recently got a DM on Instagram from this girl that I have connected with through the rave community. We have not met in person, but she won one of my giveaways. Shout out Sarah, if you're watching this. I hope you don't mind that I'm using your name. And I'm gonna read the DM that I got from her, the question that she asked me, because it's kind of like what's sparking this video. I know that it has taken a lot of hard work and dedication to get to where you are now. Any wisdom or advice can you share for those or myself in their mid-20s who are trying to figure out their mission and while also trying to set a good foundation to become successful? So this isn't the first kind of message that I have received from somebody in their early 20s, mid-20s, 10 years younger than me. It doesn't matter. Somebody in their 20s looking at what I've done and asking me how I did it, how to become successful, because they haven't figured out their plan yet. I know that it's always been a way of life, living the American life. It's like go to college and then get married and have kids. Or we have these time limits that society puts on us, and even on social media more than ever now, because you'll see somebody like Alex Earl, who is just turned 23 years old and is making millions of dollars just living her life online, and there's people that just graduated college or have been out of college 5 years or about to turn 30, and they don't have it figured out, and they're scared, and they just see online that so many other people are so much more far ahead of them and have it figured out, and what's the secret, and what do we do, and how do I get there, and all of that. And so even living the life that I live, people look at me and see that I've traveled the world and I go to all these festivals, and like, how do you do it? How did you get there? How are you successful? And all like the content I create and all that. The first thing I wrote back and told Sarah was like, first of all, thank you. You know, that's such a huge compliment to look at me and want to know how I did what I did and how I'm successful. And I told her, I was like, I don't feel successful. I've been honest about this before on social media. Look back at my previous videos of me quitting my corporate job, learning lessons, feeling like a failure. I talked about it before, like when I went on my Egypt trip in 2022 and people were like, well, how do you do it? I was like, I'm not even working right now. What do you mean? This is paid from in 2020. Like, I have, said multiple times, not everything you see on social media is real. A lot of it is fake. I can admit to that, and I have on certain things. It's like the reason why I'm able to at one point take all of these trips, because I quit working. Like, I wasn't working. People can ask like, well, how did you pay for everything? Like, I used my savings in my early 20s and would like work a corporate job and quit. I would like cash out that retirement. Like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I haven't been working here. It's not like I took out $15,000. It was maybe like $6,000 or something like that. I'm like, I'll make it back. It's fine. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I would do. And I also come from a very privileged household. My mommy and dad always supported me and everything. I could live there rent free. So that's kind of what I was doing when I would quit my job. Like, oh, I'll just break my lease in my apartment the right way. I'd pay the fee and like move home and just like live rent free and have them take care of my cat when I take these trips. And when I wasn't, taking these trips, the things that I would do for money, like I drove Uber. Like, just be far. Like, if you do not come from a place of money, you're gonna have to hustle and do things that you may not want to do. So from the outside, yeah, I'm taking all these trips, but like when I'm back home, like I was Ubering, I worked in a food truck, I was a nanny, I was a personal assistant, I was also acting at the time too, so I made money that way. And like, I've quit my corporate accounting job twice, and the first time that I did that, in my mind, it worked out because I was able to live at home with my parents and make a lot of different income in a bunch of different ways But then I decided, I was like, oh, I don't want to do the acting anymore. I want to keep traveling. So then I went back to corporate America again. And guess what? A year and a half later, I quit again. This time though, I was living in Miami. So I'm originally from Austin, Texas. I live in Miami now. I was like, it worked out before, I'll just quit again. I will do whatever I can to make money and just make it work. I don't want to do accounting anymore. It didn't work out. It did not work out. And I explained all this in my returning to corporate America video, hard lessons learned while not working, is because I felt like such a failure. At the time, you know, I was 32, turning 33, just quit my job. I'm living off of savings. I haven't even tried to make money yet. I have all of these trips planned that were paid for in like 2020 that I'm taking now. And so from the outside looking in, people were just wondering how I'm able to do this and afford this and look how cool my life is. And I just like, I felt kind of fake. When I got back from my Egypt trip, I came on here, I was like, it's not real. Like, I'm not working right now. I'm trying to figure out my life. This is not a proud moment for me, that when I'm in between trips, I'm home scared, trying to figure out what I want to do, that I'm in my 30s. People just get so caught up in the time limits that society sets for us. Now the trend on TikTok, it's kind of a good trend. I actually like it. People are saying like, your life doesn't end when you turn 30, and it shows these women like living these cool lives, traveling the world, and you know, living in these beautiful apartments. I've seen some like, your life doesn't end when you turn 25, or like 23 when you're done with college. Like, when you're so young and you just get out of high school or college, like, you have these expectations that you've set on yourself, that maybe your parents have set on you, that society sets on you, that social media sets on you. 19-year-old girl in college could be looking at Alex Earl and being like, oh my God, I need to have my life figured out by the age of 23. Not everybody does. Like, when I was 23 finishing college, in my mind, I was still gonna be married and my first kid at 25, 26. That didn't happen, and I'm glad that it didn't happen. I turned 30, I would definitely have it all figured out, and I didn't. And even now, as I'm 34 now, I still don't have it figured out. And that is okay. In my case, I took a chance on myself and quit a second time because it worked out before, it'll work out again. But I made a huge mistake in failing to realize my circumstances were substantially different. The first time I was living at home with my parents, and my only bill, like real bill, or like two bills at the time, was like making my phone payment and my car payment. And so all those little odd jobs that I did paid that off easily, and that's why I was still able to travel and do things, because I didn't have any real bills. And that was, I think it was like 28 years old when I did that. And so this time I just had so much blind faith that it would work out because it worked out before. And you know, I'll try different ways of making money. So I did. I tried doing UGC, which is user generated content, because I make content, festival and travel content. I was like, I'll just make UGC content. And if you don't know what UGC is, it's like, so Bath and Body Works hires me to make an ad on this hand sanitizer, and it goes on their social media. So I'm not posting this on mine. I just make the ad and it goes straight on their social media. So I thought like, okay, I'll try UGC. I'm already making content, so let me just get paid to make content. So I did that for a while, and I did make some money off of it. And then I also thought I'll just go back to acting. The acting scene is different here than in Austin, but also too, I didn't try hard enough. Like, I'm here to own up to all of my like mistakes. I tried to make money in one way. It kind of worked out for a little bit, but then I realized, I was like, I really don't want to do this. People that are really making money in UGC, they are like cold calling people every day, which not necessarily cold calling, but like emailing brands, DMing brands, trying to get clients. And it's just like, I don't want to do that. I'm not a sales girly. I don't want to do that. So I stopped with UGC. With the acting thing, I applied for one agency. I was on casting websites and didn't land any jobs. Like, it's just different. And then I realized like, I just had so many other connections that I had built up in the Austin acting industry that like I just didn't have here, and I just wasn't, I guess, as motivated to try. So I just didn't try hard enough. That's my fault. So if you're gonna really do something, like really do it and put your all into it, because I sure as hell didn't. So I didn't get money that way. I didn't have my car at the time, so even if I really wanted to go back to like doing Uber or Lyft or whatever. I couldn't even do that. All the ways that I made money when I quit the first time in Austin, Texas, they just weren't working out. I had to make the decision to go back to an accounting job. It's okay if you try something and it doesn't work out. It's okay to start over or go back to doing something that you didn't want to do before. The first time I quit accounting, I didn't think I was gonna go back. Never. And especially the second time, are you kidding me? I really didn't think that I would go back. And I felt like a failure. I felt embarrassed because I was like, oh my God, here I am going back to do something that I really hate doing. But I had to sit there and think about it. I was like, do I really hate accounting? Or have I just hated all like the jobs or companies or management that I worked for? I had to sit and think like, why did I quit both times? What did I do in that time? And why did I go back? And it all came back to the same thing. It's like, I quit because I wanted the freedom to travel the world. I went back to work because I needed money to travel the world. I needed to quit to kind of come to that conclusion again, like this is a common denominator in both instances of me quitting. So what do I want most in life? And that is to keep traveling the world and helping my community of traveling ravers, or even just travelers or ravers, do it too, because there are so many people that have never left the United States, that have never been to Asia or Australia, or been outside of a California festival. So I'm here to show you that there's a different world and to go and do it too. And so that's what I ultimately want to do. And so I had to think, okay, for right now, you're not making money off of traveling the world, being Electric Ollie, the traveling raver, but you still want to do it. So what are you gonna do? I just had to suck it up, swallow my pride, go back to accounting because it's a means to an end. So this is another point that I want to talk about, is that sometimes you're gonna have to work a job that you don't like or that your heart and soul isn't into to make something else happen. My biggest dream in life is to keep traveling the world, going to music festivals, helping you guys do it too. And in the meantime, I need to find a way that's gonna fund it, that's gonna pay for it. So guess what? I'm gonna use the skills that I know to my advantage. At this point in time, because I am in my 30s, I don't wanna learn a new skill. I don't wanna find and teach myself a way on social media how to make money, because there are tons of different ways that you can make money online. I don't have the patience for that. So I'm gonna use what I have in my vessel, in my arsenal. I don't know, are these the right words? Like I have a degree in accounting and I have 8 years of accounting experience. So I'm gonna go back to accounting because that's what I know. And I just hoped and wished for a job that aligned with me. And I found a great job and I really like it. And it's funding what I need to do. So sometimes you're gonna have to work a job that you don't wanna do. And some people can come on here and be like, just quit, your mental health is more important. Let me tell you, because I did that. My thought was like, I don't care. I will live off my credit cards as long as it's gonna get me out of this job and I'll figure it out later. I did that. And yes, your mental health is important and being happy at your employment is important. But what felt worse to me, was not making that salary anymore and wondering, how am I gonna make money because UGC didn't work out, acting's not working out. And that to me was a worse feeling than sitting at my desk crying, filling out a spreadsheet, So before you just up and quit your job because you're listening to everybody else on the internet say your mental health is more important, if you're gonna do that, I really hope that you have a fat savings account, because I didn't and I ran through it. So if you have the savings account, or if you think that you can go get a job quickly, let me tell you, the market is just not an easy thing right now. So while yes, I do like my job, I'm always looking for more. I could be making a lot more money with my degree and experience. So I apply for jobs here and there, and sometimes I don't even get calls back, So just know that you're taking a huge risk if you want to quit your job because of your mental health. You need a backup plan. I was so silly to think that I'd be just fine off the vibes and manifesting because it worked out the first time. No, that's just not the reality sometimes. And so if you want to take a chance on yourself, just have a backup plan. What I went through was really tough and really scary. And just looking back, it's even if I would have went to go get a part-time job at Old Navy or something like that in the middle of it, that would have just significantly helped instead of me just watching my savings go down. So that's just my advice, is like, if you are very unhappy in your situation, like, have a backup plan. If you don't want to work full-time, find some way of making money. If you don't have, say, like 3 or 6 months of savings, you know, saved up. But also too, like, if you can hang into that job that you don't like a little bit longer, or make sure you have something lined up before you quit. I, you know, mentioned that I feel like I'm starting over, that I don't have success, and that's okay. I see a vision for my life more clear than I ever have before, and I'm glad that I quit and I took that time off, because it's like, if I just would have kept working, I went from one job to the next and didn't get to a point of like desperate energy and like wondering what I'm going to do with my life, I may have never come to the conclusion that I came to of what I want to do with my life and how I'll eventually make money off of that. And even if I never did make money off of this and creating content, like, I want to keep traveling the world, so I will do whatever it takes to make it happen. And if that means I need to work some type of job to fund that for the rest of my life, then I will. But I also love creating content, so regardless, I'm gonna keep doing this. So what I've learned too is just like, not just do something strictly for the money. Like, I haven't made any money off of my YouTube channel yet, but I've just been pumping out these videos because I like it. Just getting any kind of message them on Instagram or somewhere else, like people saying that they genuinely love my videos, or, you know, hey, I watched your Tomorrowland series and it helped me figure it all out. Like, that's exactly what I want to do. So that's why I'm going to keep doing it. But just because I'm 34 now and don't have it all figured out, I don't feel like a loser. I don't feel like a failure. I stopped putting a time limit and a time pressure on myself, because why am I in a hurry to get through life? You know, why are you in such a hurry? Whose timeline are you on? Is it social media's? Is it your parents'? If you are not where you want to be, that's your business, and you're gonna get it there someday. But don't take the pressure from anybody else of, you're a certain age, you should be at a certain point, and you should have certain accomplishments. And everybody lives a different life, you know. Yes, I'm 34, and there's people my age with houses and that are married and with children, and honestly, I don't want any of that. So I don't feel like I'm behind in life. I spend too much time globetrotting around the world that, you think I want to buy a house right now? No, it doesn't even cross my mind. Like, buying a house is just not in my radar, which that's some people's biggest accomplishments. You know what my biggest accomplishment is I want to go through all 7 continents, and I'm 6. I have Antarctica left. That's my biggest accomplishment. Or some people's dreams were to be a mother. It's not my dream. If I'm supposed to have a child, then I will, but it's not my biggest dream in life to be a mommy. And I know some people could be scared by that, because like, oh my God, I'm 34. As women, we do have a biological clock. And so I get that why some people feel rushed, because they do want to have a child. They're 36 and they're still not married or whatever, but I can't speak on that because that's not my situation. I don't want to have, if I never have a child, I'm fine with that. If I'm meant to, then I will. When it comes to, you know, being married, I've been single for a very long time now, and that's okay. I haven't been single this long just to settle at the very end of it. You know, I know what I want. I'm glad, honestly, that I've kind of waited this long, because I am a raver. For the longest time, I thought that I wanted another person that raves, a rave boy, be my rave man, rave bae, and we're gonna do it, and we're gonna get married, and we're gonna keep doing this. Like, where I'm at in life, I don't do drugs, and as of right now, I'm not drinking, and I have no plans on drinking anytime soon. I'll cross that bridge when I get there, but I'm completely sober. And aside from like the drinking, for the last couple years, like, I was okay meeting other people that did want to partake in substances. But just where I'm at now, I don't want to be with somebody that does any kind of drugs, even if it's just like occasionally, recreationally, whatever. Like, it's, oh my God, especially, I've never wanted to be with somebody that gets like fucked up every weekend. No, but even now, like, I just don't want that anymore. And can you imagine me getting into a relationship with one of these rave boys that I had, you know, dated at one point in time? I don't want somebody like that. So I'm glad that I've waited this long to really find out what I want and like. And if it's like, if I would have settled even a year ago, that's not what I want. So I'm okay waiting for the right person. I'm not gonna settle for anyone or anything, and you don't have to either. Something else that I've seen lately is FOMO. That's always been a thing, I guess, but something that I've just had to kind of discover in myself is that it's okay to say no. It's okay to miss out on things. It's okay to stay in. It's okay to save your money. It's okay to not drink. It's okay to not go to that festival. It's okay to not take that trip. It's okay to not do what everybody else is doing. You need to take care of yourself first, your mental health, your body, your spirits, your finances, your home. All of that comes first. And that took me a while to realize, because at one point I was happy to be the yes girl, like Ollie's down, ask her, I'm always down for the trip, I'm always down for the festival, I'm always down to go out. Like, no, it really takes a toll on you. And even just putting myself into the situation, like, again, everything happens for a reason. Like, I quit my job, I put myself into like this really weird financial situation, and now I'm still trying to like recoup from that. So like I had to take a step back because these are the consequences of my actions. But I'm glad, because now I am at a place where it's like I said yes to so many things for such a long time that I'm like, I didn't even really want to do half of that stuff. Like, it's exhausting. It's a lot of money. Like, why am I still going back to EDC 5 years in? Or why am I going to EDC Orlando just because all of my friends are going? Like, no, like, I don't want to do that anymore. And my priorities have shifted. I don't want to just keep going to festival after festival after festival. Like, I want to keep traveling the world and go to festivals, but not just keep going to the same damn festival over and over again, or go to the same damn club. Like, there's people that are at Club Space every weekend. Good for you. Couldn't be me. You know, like, I have had to come to terms with like, you know what, this just isn't in my budget, so I'm gonna stay home. And the more that I did that, I actually realized like that I can't believe I said yes to half of the shit that I did, because I am just so much more comfortable and in control of my life and my finances now. So it's okay to miss out. That festival is gonna be there next year. You're gonna see your friends at a different event at a different time. That country ain't going anywhere. So it's okay to put yourself first, to be selfish, to say no. And guess what? If they're your friends, they're gonna understand. My friends have not given me a hard time. They do, like, jokingly, like, come on, Ollie, just come out, or, you know, whatever. But I'm like, no. Or the same thing with drinking. If I don't want to drink, nobody's really badgering me to it. Like, if they're your friends, they're gonna understand. They're not gonna guilt trip you. They're not gonna make you feel bad for missing out. And like, if you can't go to somebody's birthday, like, you can't go. Like, just say no. I do it. And my friends are understanding. If they're gonna give you a hard time about it, then those people just aren't your friends, and you should make a new circle of people. I know I talked so damn much throughout this whole video, but let's just kind of recap what we talked about. So you don't need to be on a timeline. You don't need to rush through life. It may feel like it, but you really don't. You don't want to go into anything with that desperate energy. Just put your intentions out there, ask for it, and just trust that it'll come, not with desperate energy and like constantly watching your clock and checking for it. Just let life happen. Let life happen. I'm not in a rush. I don't want you to be in a rush. So don't be on a timeline. And then it's okay if you feel like you need to start over, or that you failed if you tried something. Try something new. Just get back up. We're not meant to be good at everything that we try. We're not meant to succeed at every single little thing that we put our heart and soul into. Or maybe we do. Maybe some of us are. But I've also realized, like, I know I don't put my 100% effort into everything that I do, because I realize, like, I don't like it, and that's okay. If I start something, I'm like, this just isn't for me, I'm gonna pull back. Don't look at the money that you spent, the time you spent on it, because as a reason to not stop what you're doing and to like force yourself to keep going. Like, you're just gonna spend more money, more time, more energy. Just like cut the losses, start over. It's also okay to work a job that you don't like while you make your dreams come true or make that business come true. Whatever it is, just use your job as a means to an end. Now, if you love your job and you want it to be your career, amazing, awesome. Hope you go as far as you can in that. But if you are only using your job as a means to an end for something better, do that. And if that job is no longer serving you, have a plan, have a savings, find another job before you quit this job. You don't want to be stuck in desperate energy of trying to make money and figuring out and scrambling and losing your mind and crying yourself to sleep every day like I did. It's okay to say no to things that don't serve you, and this could be people, places, and things. You know, don't settle for a relationship just because he's a nice guy or he has good money or he's funny. Like, if he's not the whole package or she's not the whole package that you want, then don't settle for it. Or even with friendships, if you're getting half-assed energy friendships, like, don't settle for that either. And say no to the things that aren't serving your mind, your body, your soul, your finances. Your friends will support you if they really are your friends. It's okay to miss out, and you may even get to experience JOMO, the joy of missing out. And you don't want to spread yourself too thin. Sit back, stay home, save your monies, or save it for like a bigger, better event that you're gonna look forward to. You don't need to go to every festival. You don't need to go to every event. You don't need to go to every birthday party that you're invited to. You don't need to go on every trip. You don't need to accept every invite that comes your way. And just stop comparing yourself to others. This kind of goes in with the timeline thing. Like, don't be in a rush just because somebody your age or somebody younger or your friend or your colleague or whoever has what you want or is further in life than you. Just look at it as like, cool, that's possible for me now. Like, my friends get so many like sometimes awesome brand deals or festival opportunities, and they got them way before I did. Well, guess what? Like, I finally got my opportunity. Like, I get to go on Groove Cruise. My content got me noticed. So like, good. Like, I'm happy for myself. I'm happy for my friends. Like, I'm happy for anybody that has the things that I want. My friends that just got in these new relationships, I'm like, awesome. My turn's coming up next. It's possible for them. It's possible for me. So if you're gonna look at somebody else's life and wish you had what they had, just look at it as like, cool, it's possible for them, it's possible for me. Don't be envious or jealous or think that you're never gonna get there. We're all on our own timelines, and as long as you're not in a hurry to get there tomorrow, it will just happen. And thank you guys for watching. Always thank you so much for the support on my 34th birthday. Everything that I talked about, I learned this past year at 33, and I'm fine with that. I'm still growing, I'm still learning. The older you get, the wiser you get, and sometimes even the better looking that you get. And I'm glad to be the 34-year-old woman I am today, because when I look back at, you know, who and what I look like at 23 versus 33, like, I am proud of the 33-year-old woman, even though I made a lot of mistakes and I failed and I ran out of money and whatever. Like, I am back on track. It's only gonna get better. It always gets better. Just keep moving, you know, have a clear vision for your life, keep your eye on the prize, do something every day to get you to where you want to be. And it's okay to have those down days. This isn't like, as much as I want to be positive, sometimes the toxic positivity isn't what you want to hear. It's okay to have your sad days. It's okay to be mad. Like, that's life. It's the ebb and flow of life. We're not always going to be up on a roller coaster. We could go 5 months just riding a high and then all of a sudden we come crashing down. That's life, but just know it's only temporary. You're gonna go right back up. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this helped at all. Happy birthday to me.